Hey, good morning. I wasn't really planning on coming on here this morning. I have a lot of things that got to get done, right? That whole got to get done. But I just have a lot of things that I really feel compelled to do today. But my meditation had other ideas, and my insights came from inside of me and said, nope, you're going to go on live and you're going to share. So here I am. And yeah, I'm ready. So, meditation insight. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Laura. Meditation insight is, sometimes people have this thought of that meditation is this like um, woo-woo thing out there, but really all it is, it's either prayer, it's listening to your heart, it's um, listening to that little voice inside of you, it's being in silence. I mean, it's just a word, meditation, right? So the insight that comes is truth, and it's truth for you, but also for many others because we're all in this together. We're all connected. So, you know, any insight you get is shared if you feel compelled to because it's for others too. So I feel compelled to share my meditation insight today was really just about that. Was about sharing and following my heart or that inner voice inside of me at all times. And I walked downstairs, fed my cat, and I saw this on the table. This is an elixir that I actually made for my daughter in our empowerment group yesterday. She didn't come, so I made it for her and surprised her. And I don't know if you can see how beautiful it is. This idea actually was from Natalie, my partner in doing these groups. And, I made potions with my daughter before when she was little, but I didn't remember. I wasn't, I guess it wasn't a thought that I remembered. So this is helpful because it's not just this pretty little bottle, that, has this little roll on and you take it off, you can smell it, you can roll it on, take the lid off. It's really powerful. If I can put the phone down, I can show you. But the whole point was, well, better not. The whole point of making the elixir was through empowerment, right? So these whole past 4 weeks that we've been doing with the children have been um, art activities and different things about listening to our thoughts and the energy of who we are. And during meditation, it was about intent. What does that mean? Like we talked about that, and these are 6, 7, 8 year olds, and there was even a 3 year old there too. So yeah, and they all got it. It was fabulous. So as we geared down to our last group yesterday, it was really about we did a meditation about meeting our superpower self, which is who we really are, which is our higher us, which is our inner voice, which is our God, or which is our light inside. It has so many meanings, but for kids, they're so imaginative and they're not afraid to imagine. And when they create from that space that they can imagine, it's real because it is real. It is real when we imagine. So when we were in meditation and asking our superpower self what is the intent for our elixirs or potions, or what is it that I need to know about this? So some of them, some of the answers were something like to feel good, fun. Um, Mine was joy and empowerment, like in her inner power. And what was the other one? I can't remember. I think his was joy, love, because everything is joy and love. That's what he said. And that's amazing to me, right? Because of course you think, well, that's just obvious. Well, of course it's obvious, but we forget. And when kids get busy and are in their heads, they forget too. And then we help them forget by saying things, come on, we gotta hurry up, or get your shoes on, let's go, or whatever that parents say. I do it too. But it just takes 6 minutes. 6 minutes, it's all it takes to have a meditation insight. And as soon as they remembered and wanted to share, that insight became them. And then they shared with us, and those insights became us. And magically, when we were making our elixirs and smelling them and putting them on ourselves, I forgot that the one sweet guy who made his elixir was about fun, and I could smell it, and I said, "Oh, I feel so excited. I feel so like I want to hop around." He goes, "Yeah, fun." And I thought, "Yeah, exactly." So the voice and the feeling and it all kind of permeates with our thoughts and being and energy of what we intend. And so this was just a tool. It's not this. This isn't the powerful tool, but it's certainly beautiful to look at. It's the reminder from our tool within, which is going into ourselves. And children don't need to meditate for a half an hour or 20 minutes. I mean, they can, and some do, 5, 6, 8 minutes, 3 minutes at first, 10 minutes. It doesn't take a long time. It really doesn't. And I feel like sometimes, as teachers or parents, we think, oh no, because I know when I first started meditating, here's my story. I sat, and I was a beginning teacher, and I remember in high school, one of my teachers, I've only had 3 that have inspired me, and one of them was teaching us relaxation technique. Yeah, that's the same thing as meditation, right? And I loved it. I had no idea what I did. But then when I became my second year teacher, and I went to a meditation class, I thought, I can bring this to the kids. I had no idea what I was doing. I sat there, kept opening my eyes. I said, this is horrible. I don't like it. What is this? What are they doing? I can't sit here for this long. And honestly, that was my thoughts, right? Spinning, telling me I can't do it, all of that. But I didn't know what I know now then. And when I start meditations with kids, it's the same. They kind of feel that thing. Not all of them, but some of them. There's inevitably 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 that are kind of like, what? And they feel that. So I talk about that with them. I share it. Integrity, authenticity, vulnerability. That's what children speak. And if we want to reach them, that's our job, to speak that with them. So anyway, meditation insight. So yeah, this is powerful. This is a powerful tool. And you think, oh, the boys won't like it. Well, we had mostly boys in our class and they love it. So there you go. Here's another idea of this that came to me to share, and it was inspired thought, or inspired feeling, action. Doesn't matter, it's an energy. And it's a memory from when my daughter was, I don't know, 3, maybe 4. And when she was afraid, and I won't share the personal story because she wouldn't like that, and I need to respect that. But when she was really feeling afraid about something in particular, we, what am I going to do? How can I help her, right? I had that feeling of, oh my God, my kid's afraid, and, we have those feelings because we love our babies and we want them to be happy, we want them to feel good. So, all the time. But their path is to learn the contrast of not feeling good, and what does that mean? It means, this is what it feels like to feel good. This is what it feels like to not feel good. So they can also have that feeling in their body and remember it when they need to. So it is important to let our children kind of, go through their path and guide them. But I understand the feeling of, oh my God, my kid's scared. What am I going to do? I don't want her to feel this way. So I sat on her bed and I just let myself be. And that was when my meditation became a really big part of my life. And so I just kind of let myself sit there for a few minutes, and the insight came to get a spray bottle that I had in the garage. So I ran into the garage, I got the spray bottle, I filled it up with water, and I held it. And I walked over to her and I said, we are mostly water in our body. And she said, we are? She's so excited. And I said, so, wow, just imagine that this bottle is connected to us because it's water too. And look, it has water, we're water. So whatever we feel that feels really good can be in this water too. And then, so we started thinking about, we started talking about and thinking about words that we wanted to put and feelings we wanted to put in our water. We were just going to think it and say it to the bottle. And then, of course, she wanted to put glitter and cool stuff in there. So we put glitter and stuff in there. Um, but it was mostly just water. There wasn't a lot of other stuff because we didn't, just a little bit. And then later that day, I didn't do anything with the spray. I didn't do anything with it. We just kind of went on our business because the fear time was a later time in the day. It was at nighttime. And I was watching something, or I was chatting with a friend on the internet. I don't remember, but I saw the video about how our energy, our voice, and our feelings affect water. And I thought, this is perfect, right? And so I shared that video with her about how, what we say and how we feel if we pray by water. The water crystals are beautiful and amazing. If we say ugly words like I hate you, and just words like anger, the water crystals are sludgy and ugly and brown, and they're not white and beautiful and crystallized. Well, we feel that way too, right? When we say those words, that is actually a tool that I use with children to help them remember that every part of us is listening to everything we say all the time, and even how we feel and think. So we can feel, sludgy and closed, or we can feel open and bright too. So when I read that, or when I saw that, I shared that with her, and we right away went to the bottle and we held it in our hands, and we started feeling and imagining things that we remember that felt good, and we started saying love and happiness and all these words. And when she went to bed, she said, let's spray this around the room, Mommy. So we did. We sprayed it around the room, not a lot, just a little mist here and there, and sprayed it over the bed, and voila, no more fear. Because we create those thoughts of fear, and so do our children. And so my meditative insight is, how can our children, do you really, right? Can they do the same? They can have insight too, just like that, by just taking a few minutes and closing their eyes and getting used to asking their heart questions, or imagining speaking to this magical part of them. It can be their superpower self. That's what I use. It can be anything that you decide, and I can actually just take you through a short one if you want. Let's do that. So I usually ding a chime if I'm working with a group. If I'm just working with one or two children, I'll just put my hand on my heart space, and I'll close my eyes with them and ask them to take a deep breath. We listen to the chime because that helps them kind of determine and get, like, this is the time. It signals to their body to be still. So if I ding the chime, I ask them to listen to the chime till they can't hear it anymore, and be as still as a rock, or as still as they can. Some children might want to lay down or curl up in a rock, and that's okay. Whatever works. They might want to go under a blanket. That's okay too. And then I would say, let's see, what's coming to say. Imagine that you're in your most favorite place in the world, wherever that is. Just imagine that in your magic eye. And when you're there, please nod your head. And that way they know that you're helping them wait till they get there. You're not just zooming on through the meditation. Okay, so get to our most favorite place. And in this favorite place is your superpower self. Turn around and see, for maybe the first time ever, your superpower self. And it may look like you, it may not. It might be a shiny, glittering, more colorful you. And it might not even look like you at all. Whatever your superpower self looks like is perfect. So introduce yourself and say hello, or give a hug, high five, whatever works. And then again, you ask them to nod after they've seen their superpower self, and given a high five or a hug. And they might actually do these actions as they're, and that's good, that's okay. They're imagining all this, and it's real. Our imagination is real. It's energy, it's real. Okay, don't forget that. And then You can do something as simple as, if it's just like a start the day meditation, you could say, ask your okay, let me get back into it. Okay. What does your superpower self want you to know for today? And you can mention to them, it might be an image, you might see a picture, they might have words, you might hear it, or you might just know what it is. And when you get that message, you can nod your head or give a thumbs up. And then you can ask them to open their eyes if you feel like, they might just open their eyes and say, oh, they told me my superpower self said this. And that's okay. You can go back into it with them or not. And you can keep going on and on. So if they're feeling scared, or if there's a situation, you can ask them to ask their superpower self for an answer or a message or a thought or a feeling or an idea to kind of help them move through it. So, like, for example, like I said, that was my insight when my daughter was 3, and I just kind of sat down and asked the light. For me, at the time, it was this big, huge light. That was my superpower self, but I didn't call it that. I just would go to that. Now, I actually have a superpower self when I'm working with the kids, and it looks like me. But she looks the same every time. She's this beautiful, I'm beautiful, this beautiful long flowy hair and beautiful white flowing dress that's always flowy, and she's always at the beach because I love the beach. And I share this with them so that they know I'm doing the same thing they are. So, and my insights come in different ways, and theirs will too. And their superpower self can be like, it can be a fly, it can be a toy. It doesn't matter what it is. It's an insight. It's a magical thing for them to be able to go to and feel, wow, I got this. I don't have to go running to somebody all the time. I can do this for me. And that's powerful. That's empowering. And we want children to be able to have independence. So once they do this a few times and really love it, and really, they find it empowering for themselves too. Then you can kind of offer them, maybe they need a quiet place to do it, or maybe, just sitting in the car sometimes when it's quiet. It just depends. Every child's different. So, if you have any questions, just shoot me a message and we can chit chat for a bit, and I can kind of help you come up with some solutions if you need them. But every kid's different. Talk to your kid, they're going to know. And I just would say, maybe ask your heart or ask your superpower self. Maybe you'll get an answer. And if they don't get an answer, that's okay too, because when we go into meditation, we don't always get an answer. That's because the answer is coming. Or maybe the answer is just be. Right? So we can't mess this up. There's no way to mess this up. But can our children do this too? Yeah, absolutely, without question. So that's my meditation insight for today. And just if you're curious what I put in here, you can look this up. I guess it's online, I'm sure, like everything else. But we just filled up our bottle halfway with water, and we put dried flowers. We got real flowers too from outside, some leaves, and I think there's grass in there. Then we used some essential oils, glitter. I don't. There's anything you can imagine. That just feels good. And I put a sticker on it, but I don't know if she liked that because she's 14. But I like stickers. So anyway, that's the idea. And I just ordered the bottles online from Amazon. So hope you enjoyed this. I did. I had a really fantastic time sharing with you. Thank you for being here. I love you all so much.